but it is something that is ideal. The same as not every student in a class will get an A+++ and does what 2 or 3 students do in a class. The same thing in our community, that not everybody is encouraged to get into intercultural marriages. It's only for a very few, but it is encouraged. If I find somebody who has the capability to be a gifted student, I will encourage him. Go ahead. If somebody comes and says, you know, to me and to her, it doesn't matter. I say, I'll be happy to see that, because this is Islam. This is going back now to getting 100% in your marriage. Now, number 2, about shahada for convenience sake. Unfortunately, parents who want to behave like ostriches and deceive themselves, even in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are giving our daughter's hand in marriage to a Muslim. أَشَقَقْتَ قَلْبَهُ يَا أُسَامَةَ? Did you open your heart to know if he said it because he meant it or not? So they say, we don't know. And Allah knows that they took shortcuts. But they wanted to feel good. They said, yeah, but... And many people, by the way, do things in Islam knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the truth. But the more they keep repeating it, they start to believe their own lies. They start to lie to themselves. So the same thing, they say, okay, you know, you say Shahada, oh, Alhamdulillah, and he became a Muslim, oh, let's get the man. They know he's not a Muslim. They know that. But it's deception. Unfortunately, I say it is happening. It is happening. Be careful. Be careful. Islam, you know, if somebody comes to me, I tell them, I say, you know, I need 3 to 4 months before I will tell you if I will do the nikah ceremony. But we are in a hurry. I'm sorry, go to someone else. I won't do it. And I want to see you as often as I determine to, Allahu A'lam, then after that period, if that person really, genuinely, you know, I tell you, there are examples of the new Muslims who spoke to me. They are struggling. They are being refused by the families of the girls they want to marry. And wallahi, they are praying Isha with us every day. Even though they are being kicked out by the family of the girl. We don't want you. And they are still coming to pray Isha. Now this person is doing it not to show anybody. He is here and nobody can. He's doing for what? So, and there are other criteria as well. Now, the last point, the differences in marriage law. If you want to add extra things to the marriage contract, I tell you 2 things. Number 1, a group in Toronto put together a package of fiqhi viable things that can be added to every element of the marriage contract, and they compared it with the law of Ontario. And they said, you really need to have whatever you choose to include be shown to a family lawyer to tell you that indeed this will stand in a court of law in Ontario if you ever encounter a difficulty involving this item. So there are you know, packages, or I should say package. There's a package I'm aware of, but you really need to show it to a family lawyer and say, this is what I want. Can I include it? And you know, the lawyer will say yes, no, whatever, and then you can include it in your marriage, and then it should stand. I know that really these issues we become very passionate about, and we would like to have even more. Okay, maybe he wants to get married.
One more question is related to...
Okay, this will be the last question before we get ready for Aisha.
I was just curious, like, since obviously the primary criteria isn't included in intercultural marriages, is there any secondary criteria for any
No, intercultural marriage is a secondary, or intercultural consideration is itself now a secondary consideration. If you really want to make your decision based on the difference in culture, you may say that, you know what, or the family of the girl will say, he is a wonderful young man, we love him so much, but we don't think we'll be able to mix with a Pakistani family. You shouldn't be upset, because they already declared there's a potential problem that may be, and I've seen it. It changed into a problem, into a real problem. So if they voice that, alhamdulillah, don't pursue it any further, because they already displayed that they have a weak point, a weak link that they are unable to cope with. But if they say absolutely no problem, we would welcome this and this, that's a very encouraging thing. We love to see, actually. I, for one, I told already my daughters that if there is a person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, as long as his deen and akhlaq are no gray areas at all. For me, culture, I'm okay by that. But not, you know, my brother may not be, I know my brother is not comfortable with that. Okay? So you've got to really be very careful about these things.
Yes, cultural differences are real. I mean, even in the same culture, in our country, between villages, it's practiced even between different towns and villages, and then we have problems. So
even among, let's say, Arabs, don't even say Arab culture, there's no such thing. Okay? Palestinian culture, there's no such thing.
No.
Okay? If you are from Gaza, even in Gaza, there's no such thing.
He's from Najda. Okay, I'm from
So why are you sitting beside him?
Yes. It's 17 kilometers. And
then you should change your chair. Okay, Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. Now, I have to really share something with you that Sheikh Jamal did not want me to do or to share it. But he has his reasons, I have my own reasons. You know, I love to give this halaqah as often as possible, but I travel a lot. And the reason I changed it from Sunday is that, for example, tomorrow I'm going to Guyana. I'm coming to go to London, England, then coming to go to Florida, then coming to go to London, England again. So the month of July, I may not be present except for a day or two in London. Therefore, I may not, or actually I know that I will not be here next Friday and the Friday after. But I do not want the halaqah to stop. What you know, this is what Sheikh Jamal said. He said that please don't mention it to them. Now I know he would be so upset with me that I did mention it. Okay, but I couldn't help.
Will not tell him.
Huh?
Will not tell him.
Okay. So if Brother Yaqub said he will not tell him, okay, then don't tell him. But I couldn't really keep it, because I really don't want to base anything on, so where is he? Why isn't he being, you know, strict in attending and coming? Doesn't he respect the time? I do respect that. But I would suggest to make it something that will please Sheikh Jamal, and first to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost, but to make Sheikh Jamal, who is our Imam, happy. I would say, if there will be, you know, if you come, and from among the group, mashallah, there are many qualified individuals who can really lead a discussion or prepare certain questions or scenarios that can be sent to me by email, and then when I come I can really elaborate on them or do something. But please do not stop coming on Fridays when I'm not coming. This way I think everybody will be happy. Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable, inshallah? That continue to come on Fridays, and there are many qualified people, and let the people lead the discussion and get something going, inshallah.
why you don't replace yourself for like the days you are not here to somebody else? Like Dr. Wael Hadara or somebody.
You see, I would love to, but again, I cannot control his schedule the same as he cannot control mine. So what can happen is that I already gave Sheikh Jamal the days that I am unable to attend. Now it is up to him to ask Dr. Wael or to ask other qualified. Yeah, so he may, but if let's say that person does not come and Sheikh Jamal does not appoint someone else, I would suggest that everybody comes and lead together. Yes. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.